Hello. How's everybody doing out there? Welcome in. Hi, Mom. How are ya? How's everybody, man? Welcome in. How's everybody doing out there? We got a lot to talk about, man. Let's go. I know. We're gonna talk about it today, Mom. Alright, let's get the show started, man. Alright, welcome in. Welcome to another episode of the Jayson Estrera podcast, where we talk about basketball as accurate as possible. Now, my New York Knicks, we took the lead, right? We took the lead, right? Not in the way that I would have wanted to, and we'll get into that, right? Jayson Tatum, obviously big news with the injury. Prayers to him, right? Hope for the speedy recovery. We'll talk about him in just 1 second as well, too. The Cleveland Cavaliers punched their ticket into the the Indiana Pacers, punched their ticket into the conference finals. What does that mean for Indiana? How far will they go? And we'll also talk about what will happen to the Cleveland Cavaliers moving forward. We have the Denver Nuggets against the Oklahoma City Thunder, who went down last night in a massive effort by the Joker. Jokic went off, but OKC Thunder came out with the victory still. And then the Minnesota Timberwolves are also looking to close out the Golden State Warriors before Steph Curry comes back. So we have all of that to talk about, right? But before we get into that, we gotta talk about this.
The second pick will be made by the San Antonio Spurs, and that means that the number one pick in the 2025 NBA draft goes to the Dallas Mavericks.
That is insane.
Rolando Blackman, all smile.
They're never beating the rigged allegations. They are never, ever beating the rigged allegations. It's never gonna happen. And the NBA just let's call it what it is. They gave Dallas the pick. Nah, why they got bro up there? like, bruh. Like, what? Let's see. What was?
Sir, we all are inside this room. The Sixers are in the top four.
To
the fifth pick in the NBA draft will be made
Utah
by
Jazz going to 5.
the Utah Jazz.
Go to Cooper Flagg. Go to Cooper Flagg's face. Go back to Cooper.
And now we have our final
Man,
four.
show me Cooper
Buckle
Flagg.
up. It is the Hornets. Maverick.
Where's Cooper Flagg? I bet you Cooper Flagg was there like, yes, I don't have to go to Utah. And now Jeff Teague, Gilbert Arenas are saying that Utah is going to get They're gonna get what's his name? DJ, they're gonna get DJ next year, so they're already saying that the Utah Jazz will be blessed with the number 1 pick next year. So the NBA's got to be rigged if they're right? Jared McCain, I was blanking. Sad year for Philly. Mind you, the Spurs got to be for real this rigged than a mug. Hey, man, it's happened before, right? The New Orleans Pelicans traded Anthony Davis. They got Zion. This is not the first time this has happened, right? And it damn sure will not be the last. So the real conversation, right? This is the real conversation. One, how do you feel about the trade now? Because now it's what essentially is Nico Harrison. That's why he was in every press conference like, when defense wins championships, you gotta wait and see. This year, you gotta see about our future. He kept talking about our future. And this is why. Because he traded Luka and got Anthony Davis and Cooper Flagg in return. Like, they might as well give him GM of the year for next year right now. They might as well. I mean, what are the chances? The only thing that's keeping this team right now is a Kyrie Irving injury. If it wasn't for Kyrie's knee, we would be looking at this team totally different. But I do think that we got to hold our horses, right? Because when you really think about the Dallas Mavericks, Cooper Flagg is going to be a rookie. And even though I think he's going to be good, Anthony Davis is in his 30s. Kyrie is getting older. Clay is getting older. It's a little bit of an older team. So, is Cooper Flagg a 3-man? Is he a 4-man? It's a lot of question marks still with the Dallas Mavericks, even with Cooper Flagg. I don't think it's such an easy. I don't think it's that simple, right? We're not talking about young Klay Thompson, young Kyrie, young Anthony Davis. Like, these guys are a little bit older, and granted, they could be good vets for him in terms of them competing. Like I said, Kyrie is out until like just before the playoffs next year, right? So, how are they going to look like in terms of actual championship potential? That has to be seen. I felt fine at the trade when it happened. You know how critical I am on Luka. If this was the wake-up call, he not going to wake up. Luka has issues he refuses to fix. Hey, man, if I'm Luka, I'm like, yo, y'all needed to get Anthony Davis and Cooper Flagg for me? For me? Oh, you can't say shit to me all summer. Hey, man, get the fuck on. The motherfuckers had to cheat to make a trade even to get me. Listen, man. That's how I would feel if I'm Luka. Hey, yo, fuck the treadmill. All the gym equipment. Hey, listen, man, we gonna cancel that order. Listen, I'm him. I'm still him. Listen, I'm cool. We don't gotta work out this summer. They needed Anthony Davis and Cooper Flagg to get me, Luka Doncic, out of shape ass. That's what I would be saying if I was Luka. You can't say shit to me. But I mean, crazy stuff out here. You brought it up though, Elijah, because San Antonio having the second pick is key in this, right? Because what do they have? They have the second and the 14th, I believe, right? So what are they going to do with that? Are they going to stick to drafting and building this team over time, or do they use this moment to trade for an established star to go with a young Wembanyama. De'Aaron Fox is still relatively young and an unproven player in the playoffs. So is this a situation where a lot of people are saying a Giannis Antetokounmpo, right? A lot of people are saying maybe they trade for a Kevin Durant. I personally, I don't love either one of those. Personally. I don't love either of those situations. I'm just being 100% honest. I think Kevin Durant is a little bit older. If you're looking at having Wemby and him as your front court, I'm not loving that. And you know, he's not in there helping out with the defense, right? Giannis is a ball dominant player that's going to take the ball out of De'Aaron Fox's hands. It's going to take the ball out of Wemby's hands. And now you have to shift the whole team around Giannis because that's how dominant of a player he is. He's an MVP all-time great type of player. And he's 30 and 12. I mean, you can't do nothing with 30 and 12. Like, you can't. So I don't know if that would be smart, especially for the development of Wemby and also of De'Aaron Fox. That's why I thought it's rigged. Matt, coincidence, Spurs cheating. Wemby hassle, now second, get out of here. What if, and listen to this, hear me out on this one. Hear me out on this potential. What if they make a trade for a guard? A wing player, a guard. What if they try to trade for Jalen Brown? We'll obviously talk about the Boston Celtics and their scenario. A lot of people have spoken about this team having to get blown up because they simply cannot afford this roster. And people have talked about maybe Drew Holiday getting traded or moved, Kristaps Porzingis, especially because both players are injured a lot. So I think trying to trade them right now might be a little bit difficult with their injuries and their history of it. And so in order to cut into that large salary, what if somehow, some way, the San Antonio Spurs give the Boston Celtics a call? Because think about the type of player a Jalen Brown is. He's an extremely great player. Two-way player. But he's not going to take the ball out of Wemby's hands. That's going to stop his development. He's not going to take the ball out of De'Aaron Fox's hand to stop his development. But he could be there when games are tight. In the playoffs, they could lean on him. He's young enough to where he's in his 20s still. What is he, like 28? I think if you are the San Antonio Spurs, there's a lot of different phone calls you can make. If I'm the Spurs and I'm monitoring this Boston Celtics situation, they just got new owners. You know how new owners are. They bought the team. Now they got to inherit this $500 million salary cap, the contracts. So what are they going to do with all of that? What if the Spurs do some crazy like that? Everyone's talking about Giannis. I don't think Giannis is the answer for them. I'm trying to think of another wing defender. Imagine Wemby and Jalen Brown on defense for these guys. That would be unreal, right? Go with Harrison Barnes. You just got to plug it in with another 4, someone athletic maybe, because Wemby can already shoot. So and that's the other part too, right? You need someone to be able to occupy the paint and the mid-range and be effective in those spaces while Wemby is putting on weight and muscle through these years and he's still kind of more of a 3-point shooting big. I don't know. It seems like the perfect fit to me. I highly doubt it'll happen. By all accounts, Boston wants to stick together. They seem to be a duo, but is this injury and is this situation enough to finally tear these guys apart, plus the new ownership? Who knows? But Cooper Flagg to the Dallas Mavericks is a big thing. People were also saying, what if the Dallas Mavericks were to trade that pick? And they've already, people have already come out and said they're not doing that. So yeah, I highly doubt that happens. I highly doubt that happens. And by the way, too, during the combine, can we just have guys playing basketball? Like, all of the little things that they're doing is cool. But like, that's why there's so many misses in the draft. Because you watching guys jump, you watching guys shoot with no defense. Like, let's see how they actually play in the game. Let's see what happens when there is competition. Like, let's see what happens when the top picks are going at it. Who's coming up? Who's going down? Who steps into the crowd of lions and all of a sudden elevates? Like, you don't see some of those things in these workouts. And I get that a player like Cooper Flagg is pretty much a surefire in, but I just wish there were other things that they did in order to measure, some of these things. Like, there's guys like what was Jamal Murray's vertical? I'm so curious right now. Like, what's Jamal Murray's vertical? Because he gets in games and he does some things sometimes, and you're just like, who is this guy? 39.4.5. Okay, so he had a high ass vertical before already. But even someone like Cooper Flagg, like 35 and change, isn't anything like 35 and a half. His vertical is not, it's nothing that jumps off the page. 35 and a half is nothing unbelievable. But when you see him play in an actual game and he plays with the force that he plays, right, that vert looks different in an actual game scenario. But yeah, man, we'll move right along. I'm so glad that you mentioned Max Strus. What is Max Strus's vertical? Because I'm about to tear him a new one, bro. Pause. 6'5". Standing reach. Why is it not available? What the fuck? What is his max vertical? Sorry, I'm trying to figure out what Max Strus's vertical is. Let's see if we can give him some gas before we tear him a new one. Because, dog, like, some of these guys, man, like, some of these role guys have no understanding of time, possession. Like, some of their situational awareness is just lacking. Is just straight up lacking. And the Indiana Pacers won last night, 114-105, and a part of it is because the team that Cleveland had just wasn't there. What we should do is have open breakdowns done by players, have them talk through situations, put it up for content like they did Kobe detail thing. That would be fun. I think that would be fire. And not for nothing, like, obviously I'd be hating on Bron, but that's why I thought Mind the Game was pretty cool. But I'm glad you said that, because we're actually going to be going over quite a bit of film today, Elijah. So we're going to be going over quite a bit of film. But like I said, the Indiana Pacers close out the Cleveland Cavaliers 114-105, and they did it behind Tyrese Haliburton, 31, 8, and 6. Unbelievable. I mean, unbelievable again. And then on the other side, Donovan Mitchell doing everything he can, 35 points, 15 of 21 from the free throw line. But we were just talking about Max Strus. And there are just situations, right? There are just certain situations. Let me see, where is this? This is at the 6:58 mark. Let me double check where this was. 6:58. Let's look at this. Wait, what the fuck? Where is this? Latest first. 6:58. Why is it not showing up here? Am I tripping? Here. Let's look at this play, bro. We get to see the true idiots before they get here. That would have fans raging out more happy about pigs. Oh, that's what you mean. Like a IQ test. Like an IQ test. So 65-64 in the third quarter. Oh, that's why. IQ test. I'm a moron. My dumbass over here looking in the third quarter, in the second quarter. I'm an idiot. All right, here. Let's look at this together. 6:58. Max Strus missed the 28-foot three-point jump shot, but Nesmith had just hit a three. Garland had just missed a shot. Haliburton had just hit a three. Strus had just missed a shot. Haliburton had just hit a three. Garland had just made free throws. Siakam had just hit a three. You guys get the point. The Indiana Pacers were on a massive run. 6:58 in the third quarter, 65-64. This is the first lead that the Indiana Pacers have had since the first quarter, and that lead was 6-5. And this is the shot that Max Strus decided to take in this moment.
Donovan Mitchell has not hit a field goal since the closing seconds of the first quarter. He's 3 of 14 from the field. Max Strus off balance. Haliburton.
Like, that's a first half shot. You gotta understand the difference between some first half shots and some second half shots, especially when I add the context of the fact that Indiana's on a run and now they've got the lead and they've been closing games out. That's terrible. Absolutely terrible. And him, Ty Jerome have had a number of these shots throughout this series. But truthfully, I genuinely, like, I knew the Pacers were gonna win this game. I mean, from the beginning, but especially when you start seeing moments like this. So this was before that run, right? They're still down here, 52-60.
They still have confidence in their group. They know they're going to have time here.
Donovan Mitchell gets the steal. Miles Turner gets the block. And then Andrew Nembhard comes back and gets the block on Strus as well, too. It's those types of plays that win you basketball games. Right? Those type of plays it's not X's and O's. It's not a mismatch. It's none of those. It's none of those. And then when we talk about Tyrese Haliburton, who hit a number of big threes, but this is the second time this series where he made massive plays on defense and then scored on offense. So we got to take a look at this as well too.
4-point lead. Jerome blocked by Haliburton. Haliburton on the push to the cup, lays it up and in.
And you know, with those, especially the last two clips, right? What to me, those, I hate to be the guy to call out effort, but that's really what those moments are, right? And I can't give Donovan Mitchell a pass on jogging for that layup, and people are saying he's tired. The motherfucker had 36 still, right? There was a, let me see if I can find the missed free throw. People were talking about he's tired, and then you got to see how high he jumped on one of these missed free throws. Where was his missed free throw at? They don't have the fucking free throw. But like you can't give me that. And we'll get into it with the Jokic segment because, you know, Barkley and Dwight and them had some shit to say, but you can't give me they're tired and then 2 seconds later they take a fall away jumper at the corner and make it. Like, you can't have it both ways. Like, guys are gonna be tired. It's a part of the game. You make shots, you miss shots, and that's it. Right? But I hate this narrative this year that guys are getting tired. Like, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Ty been getting treated like someone little brother all series. And that's the part too, right? Like, I think that's what's come along with this analytics 3-point offense era. It's guys don't understand that there's a reason why Donovan Mitchell gets to shoot the basketball 25 times. There's a reason why we're disappointed when Darius Garland doesn't try to go put up 18 to 20 shots. Because there's something that these guys do innately that can force two players on the basketball. And you could be really great at basketball. I think Ty Jerome is very good at basketball. He could, you know, he's tough, he could score, he's a scrappy dude, but at the end of the day, you're not Donovan Mitchell and you're not Darius Garland for a reason. And there are just some moments where the IQ is just really, really lacking with some of these guys. And it's the opposite when you look at the Pacers. Like, Aaron Nesmith is the perfect example of a player that understands his role. During their run, right, when they were coming back in that moment when Max Strus put up that terrible 3-point shot in the third quarter, Nesmith damn near waited. There were a couple times he could have shot a 3, passed it up, waited until they were up and he drove, got a layup, and he didn't take a 3 until after they were already up 7. And I think that is extremely important because you got to have guys that know and understand their role, right? You got to have guys that, okay, I know that right now this is this person's turn to shoot. This is that person's turn to shoot. I'll know when it's my time to shoot. And right now we have the Indiana Pacers. They know exactly what they got. Tyrese Haliburton is coming into his own. Playoff runs like this are the type of runs that can really turn a guy from one of the stars to one of the best players in the world. Like these type of runs, the way he's commanding the game down the stretch. I mean, the shots he's hitting, his timing, he's so aggressive all the time. I mean, I love what I've seen out of Tyrese Haliburton. I keep saying the worst thing about him is when he goes out and he shoots 8 times. When he shoots 18 times or more, 15 times or more, he's a very, very good player. And that's what's showing. That's what's showing. And, you know, for the Cleveland Cavaliers, what do you guys do from here? I don't really know if there's any moves that they can make, but my God, Donovan Mitchell is different. I mean, we already knew this, right? If you've watched Donovan Mitchell before, you would know that guy, he's been like that. He's been like that. Like, it's not, it didn't come out of nowhere. The problem is none of these guys came with him. And yeah, people got injured, yada, 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 but he had nobody with him. He had nobody with him. Not for nothing, you know what, Tyrese Maxey to the Spurs, please, anything to get him out of Philly. Nah, Tyrese Maxey and De'Aaron Fox, I would hate that. Low key. And the problem with Donovan Mitchell is he always gets injured around the playoffs, and he still put up numbers. But, like, what if the Spurs go and get, like, a Donovan Mitchell to pair with De'Aaron Fox, to pair with Wemby? He could take over if he needs to. All he needs is a couple other guys to be down. Like, he don't even need all 5. He just needed one other person standing there with him. If y'all ever watched Game of Thrones, y'all remember when Jon Snow, when he fell off the horse and the whole horde was coming at him? That's what Donovan Mitchell looked like this entire series. This entire series, that is exactly how Donovan Mitchell, that's how he looked. That's how he looked. Where is this? Trying to find the moment, bro. Trying to find the moment. Bro, this was Donovan Mitchell this entire series. This is Donovan Mitchell. The whole series. This is him. Him. The whole series. Where's homeboy, man? Where's when they leave Will, bro? Where's that one when they leave Will? Because they've had this guy Donovan Mitchell by himself, man. Like, I feel bad, dog. This guy. You see him every time he fall, he looking at his foot like like, fuck, man. Help out Donovan Mitchell. We got to get him out of Cleveland. Shit, those guys are ass. But how far will the Indiana Pacers go? I like my New York Knicks, man. I like my New York Knicks against them. I like my New York Knicks. We weren't healthy, and we took them to what? To 7 games, right? We took them to 7 games, and I like my New York Knicks. Jalen Brunson's been different. I guess we're gonna find out who the best closer in the NBA is between Haliburton and Jalen Brunson right now as my dog goes off, but I like my New York Knicks in that situation, but they've been playing, in the Indiana Pacers have been playing really, really good basketball. I got to give them that. They've been playing really, really good basketball. And, you know, to kind of follow this topic of one-man armies, Nikola Jokic, kind of like Donovan Mitchell, is a one-man army for the Denver Nuggets. And I thought the Nuggets would win this game. Through most of the fourth quarter, it kind of looked like it. But the Oklahoma City Thunder take this game 112 to 105. And it's really tough to watch the Denver Nuggets sometimes, because these guys make the game extremely difficult on Jokic instead of helping him or making the game easier for him. Will the Knicks choke tonight? We shall see. Bruce, y'all about to be out the playoffs. Y'all about to be out the playoffs talking about my New York Knicks. No, and not for nothing. We'll talk about this when we get to the Knicks. I wouldn't be surprised if we lose later tonight. We'll talk about it, but we've seen this before. We could waste Boston's time and come back to New York. University of YouTube, I would love to see Maxey to the Spurs. Welcome in. Maxey to the Spurs, but they got Fox though. How would that work? De'Aaron Fox with Tyrese Maxey. I don't love that combo at the back in the backcourt. Jamal Murray was the culprit last night. He had bad turnovers and hero ball. I mean, yeah, I genuinely think this team, when we're talking about the Denver Nuggets, that they just, everyone's role on the team is all fucked up right now. Aaron Gordon, who was their athletic guy, he used to sit in the dunker, alley-oop for Jokic. He frees up the paint for Jokic in that way, right? Now he's the guy shooting three-point shots because he's the best three-point shooter. Your best three-point shooter can't hit a jump shot to save his life. Like, everything is all out of whack for the Denver Nuggets. Uni of YouTube, I'm saying though, I think it will work. Maxey is phenomenal off ball, 100%, but Hassel don't want to stun his growth. Jokic was struggling all series. The others was carrying him. Bro, they wouldn't even be able to breathe if it wasn't for Jokic. Him having a bad game still opens the floor up for everybody else. Like, Christian Brown hit 2 threes in the first half. And the guy just would not stop shooting threes after. Like, it is unbelievable to me, right? It is unbelievable to me how often guys don't make the easy play.
Murray.
We got what we wanted. Jamal Murray drew 2, and we have a 3-on-2 right here. It's a triangle, baby. You pump fake Lou Dort, bounce pass to Aaron Gordon. If Hartenstein steps up, Gordon dunks it. If he slides, that's a pass to Jokic for a dunk. Like, why are we taking this shot? Why are we taking this shot? I'm seeing guys take shots. There's no offensive rebounding presence in the paint. Like, guys just shoot whenever they want to nowadays. And then on the other side, you get guys like Lu Dort, who not only people going to talk about the 3-point shots that he hit, we got to talk about the save that he makes on this play. What the fuck? They didn't show the offensive rebound. Shea misses that 3, bro. Shea misses this 3. They don't show it. He misses this 3, and Lu Dort saves the basketball, and I think also saves the basketball game. But it's just the Denver Nuggets are just all out of whack. I don't know about struggle. Finally, the others showed up a little. MPJ has only shot 7 shots. He needs rhythm a little. Jokic have a bad game. Is him crashing in on his IOU. Not as deep as they used to be. I'm not a fan of MPJ, but he's playing hurt and he has issues in his life. He's not getting the ball like he should. Listen, if your arm hurt and you're Michael Porter Jr., then you got to get downhill. You got to do something different. Like you got to do something different. You got to be the dribble handoff guy. You got to try to attack the basket. Like he's just sitting out there settling for threes. He took back-to-back threes to start the game. He missed the 3, got the rebound, shot the bitch again. I'm like, yo, whatever happened to trying to like settle into a game, to try to ease into a game? And then, like I said, those players will take those same shots in the first quarter, in the third and fourth. And that's really where the problem stems for, a lot of these, modern, for these modern players. What is this? But, truthfully, I think because the Denver Nuggets still had a chance to win this game, right? With everything we just talked about, they still had a chance to win this game. And when it really came down to it, the issue that they've had all year, which is their lack of defense, is what really came up. So they got 2 on the ball here on Shea. And if you're Aaron Gordon, I get that you're splitting the difference right here. But in this moment, in this situation, I get that Lu Dort has hit 3 threes in this fourth quarter. But Jalen Williams is their second best player in the game. You have to know and just live with Lu Dort hitting or missing this shot.
Some help from
but they
Murray.
Overcommit.
Kick, Dort, extra. Williams on the way.
And Jalen Williams is wide open for a massive 3. Right over here, Shea takes advantage of the fact that, we could call Jokic tired, but he's really just stuck on the wrong side right now. And Shea's like, fuck it, re-pick me, because he's not going to get over and get up on the level of the ball screen. And I'll get an open shot right here. And that was really the game. Right? That like the game's over. Game's over. And so all of that stuff that we talked about came down to 2 lapses on defense. And so that's truthfully what the Denver Nuggets have been all year. It's been Jokic can carry enough to bring damn near any team close to a win. But the Denver Nuggets as a team, their defense has been so up and down that they can win a game, lose a game, win a game, lose a game, win a game, lose a game. And this has really been the story of their season all year long. It's really been this story of their season all year long. And we could break down all of these other things, but they just broke down on defense, and the Oklahoma City Thunder really just took advantage of that situation, right? It really just took advantage of that situation. And I don't really know if I know you were saying, Bruce, that he's struggling 30-15-5 is not really struggling. Like, this is considered a bad series for Jokic. 30-15 is considered a bad series for Jokic. And so yeah, they're heading back into Denver, right? They're heading back to Denver. I really thought Denver was gonna steal this game, man. I really thought Denver was gonna steal this game. They just needed a little bit. They just needed a little bit, man. But some of these guys, they just take some poor shots. I think if Michael Porter Jr., if he's gonna give you that, you're gonna have to switch his 10 minutes and give those 10 minutes to like Russ or something. They're just gonna have to do something else because we can't have you out there just running around doing cardio. You know, if you're Denver, I think they got to do something different on defense because, you know, Shea and Jalen Williams, their objective on offense is to get downhill, and they're trying to get shots in the mid-range. They're looking for that bump so they could use it, open up their mid-range shots. So you need to just load up, whether it's a 1-3-1, if you want to do a 1-2-2, or, you know, a box and one. They have to do something if you're the Denver Nuggets, so that they're not just. You got to take Shea and Jalen Williams away. You got to force Lou Dort to go shoot 15 times. You got to force Alex Caruso to shoot 10 times. You got to force Isaiah Hartenstein to shoot a bunch of those floaters, even though he shoots it at 80%. Listen, if Hartenstein is going to get 40 and 15 and they win the game, I'm going to shake your hand, say good game. We going to get back to the drawing board and go at it next year. But I am not going to let Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Jalen Williams win the game for them. I'm just not going to let it happen if I'm the Denver Nuggets. And, you know, someone like Christian Brown too, right? Or Braun, however you say his name. Listen, bro, there's a reason you're open. Like, there's no other way to put it. Like, there's a reason you are wide open. It's not by accident, especially with the number one defensive team. It's not an accident. You know, we broke down the other day how they're slowly. They have this. Their defense slowly moves towards Jokic, right? I think a mistake that a lot of teams make. And we saw it with the Shai Gilgeous-Alexander pass to, you know, when it got to Jalen Williams in the corner. They try not to overcommit right away, and they try to just stay in the passing lanes. So, you know, if you're, there's a reason you're open, bro. Like, but like, am I lying though? Like, am I lying? Like, there's a reason. You are 2 for 6. At that point, he was 2 for 7 from 3. Why are you shooting? Pump fake pass to Aaron Gordon, dog. Y'all are up. Like, it blows my mind. It genuinely, like, it irks me when players make some of those plays, man. It's so boneheaded, bro. It's so boneheaded. But moving right along to another team that closes the basketball game very well. My New York Knicks. 3-1 lead. But I like, genuinely, I'm going to keep it a buck. This ain't no, like, this isn't bullshit. But, like, I didn't even post this on my story the other night because it didn't even feel right posting it. Jayson Tatum ruptured his Achilles, already got surgery. Like, he got surgery in record time. That was unreal. It's just unfortunate. there's two types of people hearing that. Those who come to a realization and that shakes them, or someone who is like Paul George and is clueless and is going to stay that way. I mean, yeah, that's the NBA, right? That's the NBA. You can't be above the right play, right? You can't be above the right play, especially when you're a role guy, like especially when you're a role guy. But Jayson Tatum ruptured his Achilles, and I really hate that as a Knicks fan, because now there's going to be guys that say, oh, even if you win this series, well, they didn't have their best player, or you only won because he was out. Like, dog, we was up with him in the game. And I think we would have won that game even with him in there. And I think we were going to win this series even with him playing. So I hate it for that reason. And you know, you just want to beat a team at their best. Like, you just, I hate those some of those conversations, right? But you know, I thought we handled the Boston Celtics a lot better this time around, right? They've been really good at against us in first quarters, but we really responded in that second. And you know, aside from some of these offensive plays, which one is this? Is this the you know, Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart drawing 2 charges on Jaylen Brown early was massive. On one of those scenarios, Josh Hart, you know, drew a charge on Jaylen Brown, walked down the other side and hit a corner 3. Like, those are the type of moments that you can't take for granted, because those are winning plays for players. Like, those are things that really, really contribute to winning. You're better than me because I'm ready to troll if my team wins. Shoot, we hurt too. Maybe your team just sucked. I would be like that if he like rolled the ankle, but the bro tore his Achilles. Like, he ruptured his Achilles. Like, you got a bum ankle. You fucking twist and shit. Fuck it. Like my homegirl, we was on our group phone call yesterday, and she was like, man, he got millions, he'll be fine. I'm like, yo, but legacy though, like, he's in his prime to put up numbers. Like, he's supposed to be putting up numbers still next year, and now he's got to sit out the whole year. It's just unfortunate. Nah, you not wildin'. Let it out. Don't be yourself. You be yourself. We don't. We listen and we don't judge. That's it. Repeat it with me. We listen and we don't judge. Listen, bro. A couple times a week, I make it to the dark side of Instagram, and like, it'd be one of those when you scroll and you're like, whoa. You guys ever get that? You're just scrolling and it's just the wildest joke. You're like, oh shit, I'm on this part. But you know, some people will close Instagram. I keep scrolling. I'm like, what more you got? How much more fucked up is this gonna get? But I think if you're the New York Knicks, I think we figured out our fourth quarter, right? You know, we want to look at Jalen Brunson as this hero. I think earlier on in the season, we were really trying to keep Karl Anthony Towns involved in the fourth quarter. But the reality is, Mikal Bridges is a fourth quarter player. Like, that's what the reality is. The shots that Mikal Bridges likes to take and makes consistently are great shots to close out game, to close gaps in games in the fourth. Like, it's the type of shots that you want him to take. And when he makes a couple of those middies, he's gonna hit a 3. And then you add that on top of Jalen Brunson's shot making ability. I brought it up the other day, right? you gotta have an understanding. When we came back in game 3, when we came back, it wasn't no in was it game 3? Or no, it was game 2. When we came back in game 2, right, down 20, who hit all of those shots down this stretch? It was Mikal Bridges. Again, right? Mikal Bridges. When the game was tied to, or when we were down 1 to take the lead, who started taking the shots? Jalen Brunson. In some people's brain, they'd be like, yo, Mikal Bridges is hot. Keep giving him the ball. But that's not how it's supposed to work. Jalen Brunson is that guy for a reason, right? Some of those moments with 3, 4, 5 minutes left and it's a 1-point game, that you might as well count that as a 12-second game. That's how important those possessions are. And I think that the New York Knicks understand that. Karl Anthony Towns, I do think at times needs to be more involved, especially with some of his trailing shots in the fourth quarter. But I mean, this is as good as it gets, man.
Pass in the corner. Bridges off the bounce. Has to get it off. Puts it up. It's good.
And you know, they're not trying to look at everyone. They're not trying to. He can comfortably make his move. That's the great part about seeing this, right? Like Mikal Bridges, if you know, you can make this move. They're not gonna go after it. He can't leave Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson has 5 offensive rebounds. Deuce McBride can hit threes. He is for sure not leaving Jalen Brunson. You can comfortably make this move and be patient.
Bridges off the
and
bounce.
that's exactly what he does.
Puts it up. It's good.
And he made shot after shot after shot after shot after shot. And then, you know, like I said, when it came down to it, right? When it came down to it, who was the guy? Well, when it came down to it, who was the guy, man? Who was the guy? Let's take a look right here. Yo, I hate some of the moves that OG be getting, bro. Like he be looking like Bambi out there. Like he he be moving so funny sometimes. Like, but it go in. Like it go in. It's so weird. And you know, Jalen Brunson doing Jalen Brunson shit.
Step back, 3-pointer.
It's
good. Rattled around and dropped through.
Jalen Brunson. But yeah, you love those moments. What was this other clip that I had? Yo, how is this not a double dribble, man? How can someone explain? Because everybody want to be a Instagram referee. What is this?
Into the hands of Tatum. Tatum drives, gets inside, and Anunoby all over him. Tatum.
What? How is that allowed? Explain to me. Everybody want to talk about the calls we get. They just let this man double dribble and call the end.
Sneaks underneath. Count it and a foul.
Nah, that is outrageous. He just dribbled that shit for no reason. Ridiculous, bro. Ridiculous. Ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. Ridiculous, bro. That in the garden too. In the garden. Like in the garden is crazy. Like you didn't call that in the garden. Like that is some outrageous shit right there. Outrageous shit right there. But let's move it right along to the Minnesota Timberwolves, Golden State Warriors. Excuse me. The Minnesota Timberwolves took a 3-1 lead over the Golden State Warriors, and I'm sure that these guys are trying to end this series as quickly as possible. I was looking through Steph Curry clips last night, dog. Like, you do not want to let that man touch a basketball floor. The last thing you want to do is let Steph Curry touch a basketball floor. And so that's what I think they're trying to do right now. Wait. Well, actually, bro, he just said, my guess is, bro, I don't want to hear about nobody guessing shit. My guess is neither ref had a good view. One was leaning and probably thought the ball got knocked out. The other could only see JT back, not ball. That's my best guess, though. I'm about to look it up again, bro. Like, I'm about to look it up. I'm going to pause the Minnesota Timberwolves Golden State Warriors shit just to make sure the ref wasn't right there cheating. I mean, they already rigged the draft. Right? Like, why wouldn't they rig that either? No. Bro, where is this? All right, let's see where the referees are. Let's see, Elijah. Let's see what your best guess got. Nah, bro, 48 is right here. Nah, and he said, and you're not winning this, Elijah. He saw Drew in the way. He said, I'm finna see this. Let me get a better look at this double dribble. Nah, that's egregious. Nah, you gotta give. Nah, they was both looking right at him. Nah, fuck out of here, bro. Fuck out of here. This shit's rigged. All right, back to the Minnesota Timberwolves versus the Golden State Warriors. Hey, man. Listen. At no point did I think that they were gonna they meaning the Minnesota Timberwolves were gonna lose that game, right? And 60-55, right? It was a close game going into the half, right? It was a close game. This sealed the deal for me. This right here, they was not losing this game.
16 points, 8 of 8 at the line. 2 seconds left. Edwards,
Dog.
3. And Anthony Edwards beats the buzzer.
We gotta run that back, dog. On the both of them with the snatch back on GP2. Nah, bro, this guy is different.
Points, 8 of 8 at the line. 2 seconds left. Edwards, 1-3. And Anthony Edwards
talking
beats the
mad
buzzer
shit.
with a triple.
Talking
He had
mad
2
shit.
defenders on him.
Yeah. Yo, he be getting me hyped. I swear to God, he be getting me hyped, bro. Need to hit those. What the hell are you looking at? Are we watching the same game? But, you know, we were talking about winning basketball plays earlier too, right? This right here, this Dante, right? This to me, like, plays like this are winning basketball plays, right?
Here today for game 4, so that ankle's okay. Alexander Walker drives.
You know, Dante will take this shot. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Dante is liable to take this shot 9 out of 10 times. Even if it was a little bit further out, he could be at the Chase logo right here. He'd take that bitch. But the presence of mind to give this back to Nickeil Alexander-Walker is, I think, why this team has been such a good team in the playoffs, because they've been exactly that, a team.
Swinging around to DiVincenzo, fires underneath, and getting the basket.
Just, you know, winning basketball, right? Winning basketball, and that's what the Minnesota Timberwolves have been doing. And I gotta give it's not gonna show up anywhere, right? Because Draymond Green 14 points, 6 of 14 from the field, 7 rebounds, only 2 assists. It's not going to show up in the numbers. But if you watch this game back, the way Draymond Green tried his damn best to keep them in this game, getting guys open, passing the ball, picking, setting up dribble, handoff, drive. This man was literally doing everything he can to try and win this game, and Jimmy Butler took 9 shots. I mean, that's really that like that's the game right there. Right? Julius Randle was having his way. Like, this guy Julius Randle was absolutely having his way. I mean, this guy was unreal, bro. Like, he was talking wild shit to Draymond. He was talking wild shit. Hey, Draymond, angry black man green. He was trying, man. Like, look at this.
Gonna back down Draymond Green. Now falls away.
Look at that.
Good.
He's like,
Julius
God damn, I'm nice.
7 early points.
He's like, shit, he can't guard me. Ain't shit they could do. Ain't shit they could do. This series is over. Finito. This shit is a wrap, man. This shit is a wrap. I think the last 2 games, Anthony Edwards has had his moments, right? He closed the game out in game 3, and in last game, he had his moments as well too. And the game was out of reach already in the 4th quarter, but hey, that's the way the cookie crumbles, man. So let's take a look now at what games we have coming up, because tonight we have the New York Knicks versus the Boston Celtics and the Golden State Warriors versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. So Knicks, Boston, we're in Boston. Jayson Tatum is out. I'm not gonna lie to you, after Tatum went down, this team looked super deflated. Like they looked flat. They looked completely out of it. Obviously now it's looking at Jaylen Brown to step up, looking at Derek White to step up. Peyton Pritchard, you're expecting a lot more out of him, but it's hard to make up 28 and the rebounds and assists that Jayson Tatum gets, right? It's really hard to make that up, especially against a Knicks team let's call it what it is, right? In those leads, Tatum ended up shooting really bad at the end, but he would have very hot starts. So if he doesn't have a hot start because he's not playing, who is going to be that guy to try to build up an early lead? Because we've seen how the second halves have gone. They can't fuck with us in the second half. Like, the second half is it's curtains. Like, it's curtains. It's straight green for the New York Knicks in the second half. And so if the Boston Celtics can't win the first half of tonight, how are they going to expect to win this game? Now, there's always the possibility of human nature, right? Human nature is a real thing. And the New York Knicks, human nature could kick in and they could take their foot off the gas a little bit. It's very possible. We've seen it happen before. And on top of that, the Boston Celtics could be really motivated to try and play for their guy, Jayson Tatum, and try to get a win for him. With that being said, in terms of the actual game itself, right? If Jayson Tatum isn't on Karl Anthony Towns, who's going to be on that switch when they do the Jalen Brunson pick and roll? Because they've stayed away from that pick and roll a lot. right? A lot of times Jalen Brunson is trying to get, Peyton Pritchard on him, trying to get anyone, like he's trying to hunt everyone else basically. And that can be Al Horford. If it's Al Horford, it's green for Jalen Brunson. It can't be KP because dude has been hurt and he's been getting fried by Jalen Brunson in the pick and roll. So who will that person be on Karl Anthony Towns to switch on the pick and roll with Jalen Brunson? That's got to be number one. And number two, how aggressive is Jaylen Brown going to be? I think if you're Jaylen Brown, your mindset has to be, all right, I got to try to get like Jalen Brunson in foul trouble early. If I'm Jaylen Brown, I'm hunting Jalen Brunson. I'm trying to get him in foul trouble and get him out of the game. I'm going to try to make this game as ugly as possible. We're going to slow the game down, try to beat them up on defense, and we run when we have the opportunity, but we're really going to try to muck this game up. What is happening over here? That's not funny, Elijah. I'm not a fan of Draymond, and his rant was bullshit. I would not call him that, though. Yeah. I mean, we're chilling in here, Bruce. I think we're just chilling in here. I do appreciate that take, though. I do appreciate that take. Hey, Bruce, Draymond needs to thank Curry every day. I think Curry needs to thank him too. I think he's, for the amount of physicality that we've seen on Steph Curry, I think Draymond's prevented a lot more because they knew that man was going to foul the shit out of them right back. So, I think he's freed up a lot for Steph Curry as well too. Obviously, Steph is Steph, but I think it kind of goes both ways. But with that being said, I take the New York Knicks tonight. I think we close out the Boston Celtics 4-1, which is why I brought up earlier, what if the San Antonio Spurs try to take Jaylen Brown? I don't know how those contracts work. I don't know how any of that stuff works. But what if they try to trade the 2nd and the 14th round pick to Jaylen Brown or something? That would be unreal. I get it, Bruce. I just don't know who even called him an angry black man. Like, I never heard the narrative before he said it. I agree, Elijah. You're right. See, look at us, man. Look at the community we're building. Look at this. Oh, look at us. Look at that wholesome interaction. Look at this, man. We can help the world spin, man. I promise you we can. But I won't instigate if it bothers you, my B, Bruce. That's what I had originally, Bruce. That's what I had originally. But do you think they even have enough firepower without Jayson Tatum? That man creates so much offense, even if he's not getting the assists or the points. Like, so much offense comes from him. I mean, either way, if Knicks win tonight, good for you. I mean, either way, we gonna win the series by your logic. So either way, I'm good. But I just think it's a lot for Boston. I think, I brought it up the other day. All of the news about, this roster won't be together. If I'm the Celtics, I would have wished that news never came out. I wish, I don't care how much they want to say it don't bother them, but if you see something like that, I'm sure in the back of your mind you start looking around at some point, especially losing these games. You're like, shit, could it be me? Could it be me? Could it be me? Could it be me? And I think that indirectly has an impact on this team. What if Jaylen Brown is the one to go? What if? RIP Warriors tonight. Oh well, and that brings me to the Golden State Warriors, right? Because unlike the Boston Celtics, where I'm pretty confident that Jaylen Brown is gonna get up 20-some shots tonight. I'm pretty confident in that. Will Jimmy Butler do the same? Like, I hate this whole narrative about all this, you got to make the right play. Like, I hate it because we've seen it in each game of these playoffs that team basketball is for the first, let's call it 40 to 43 minutes of the game. And even in those minutes, a lot of those scenarios are dictated by your best player. And Jimmy Butler thinking that 30 points are just going to pop out of nowhere on this team, to me, is delusional. So if he's not out there taking shots, I don't know who the fuck is about to go and put up some points for them, because otherwise, like Julius Randle and Anthony Edwards had 30 apiece last game. They just can't, they just can't make up for that. And so, just off of that alone, I think Minnesota takes this 4-1. I think they take this game. Oh, and by the way, too, because I saw, I'm going to pull this up real quick. Because I saw that freaking, I was watching, it was on TNT last night, right? And they were talking about, Jokic he played the whole fourth quarter. He's tired. And that was Barkley. That was Dwight. And so I'm like, all right, well, let me look up the minutes that just some guys have played. Right? Yeah, I'm gonna run off some names for y'all, man, because I hate this little narrative that they got flowing around. It's ridiculous to me, man. It's ridiculous to me. Oh, I forget Charles Barkley. And that's why, when sometimes they're like, yo, you can't talk, you ain't played. Like, motherfucker, you be lying about your own career. I still think that Butler posterior is still hurting. One, him be too nonchalant in the past. He better play like a winded animal. Listen, listen, bro. These guys keep talking about minutes in the playoffs. Charles Barkley, he playing too much. These are playoff minutes. 41.4, 42, 45, 41, 40, 42.8, 42.5, 39, 41, 30. This is Charles Barkley. Jordan, 42.8, 45, 42.7, 40. What are we talking about? Shaq. Playoffs. Fat Shaq. Overweight, whatever. 43.5, 42, 40, 40, 41. What are we talking about with some of these numbers? 41, 42, 39, 35, 43. Man, some of these guys just be talking out they ass, bro. The best duo, 39 minutes, 43, 43, 44, 4. What are we talking about? What are we? They dead ass went to David Adelman at the end of that game talking about, yo, do you regret playing Jokic 40-some minutes? He said he's 16 of 20-some from the field. He's like, I'm gonna leave him in there. You damn right. Where did this come from that stars are supposed to play 30 minutes in the playoffs? Like, where did that notion come from? Stars play more minutes in the playoffs, actually. All of them do. So this whole narrative of, yo, we got to get some guys some rest. David Adelman had to literally talk about the timeouts and saying that's about 7 minutes of rest that I can get Jokic between all the timeouts. He said he's good. We're good. Like, when you're a star, you play. And you know what's even funnier? What's even funnier to me, right? To me, this is the kicker, right? This is the kicker when it comes to the Denver Nuggets Oklahoma City Thunder series when you're talking about minutes, right? And just so y'all can see this with me. Jokic 41.1 through 5 games. Jamal Murray 41.3. But no one is ever mentioning Jamal Murray. No, everyone just fails to mention Jamal Murray. Christian Brown right there, 39. Like, bro, guys play at the end of games. I don't get it. Like, I don't get this. I don't get it. Like, I have to acknowledge, I never played in the NBA, but I'd be damned to sit down long in these games. That's why I respect the Knicks. All their guys play. But that's the thing. We don't have to play in the NBA to point out the long list of other stars that are playing 40 plus minutes a game through an entire playoffs. Like, the Shaq and Kobe playing 40 plus minutes, that was through the championships. Like, they averaged those minutes through the championships. They were winning games 4-0, still playing 40-something minutes in a game. And that's why I'm pointing out, like, Charles Barkley talking about, you got to rest him. He tired. Dog, you are playing 45 minutes? Like, what? Like, what? Like, what are we talking about, man? What are we talking about, man? So both series get closed out, the Knicks and the Warriors tonight, which leaves us with the Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Denver Nuggets tomorrow night. I think this is a toss-up. I think, how many fouls? Let's see. How many fouls did Lou Dort get in the first half? I'm very curious about this right now. No fouls in the first half. 2 for Chet. 1 for Hartenstein. Listen, you could call the NBA rig. I don't give a fuck. Don't be surprised tomorrow, right? Don't be surprised if Chet Holmgren, Isaiah Hartenstein, and Lou Dort have 2 to 3 fouls by halftime tomorrow. Don't listen, man. I don't see the future in nothing, even though since last week I've been pretty good with calling these games. But don't be surprised if tomorrow night we see Chet Holmgren, Isaiah Hartenstein, and Lou Dort get 3 fouls. Just don't be surprised. Just don't be surprised. And if that's the case, the Denver Nuggets push this to 7, because now that would leave their game would be tomorrow, Saturday, right? Their game would be Saturday. Yeah, that seems about right. I know the NBA would love to extend the Warriors Timberwolves series and the Knicks Boston series. I just don't see it. I do think there's a chance that the Boston Celtics win tonight. I do think there's a solid chance that the Celtics win tonight. But if it's close, man, the New York Knicks have showed that we win those games. We have showed that we win those games. They are going to be in Boston, so they might have like this boost. Yeah, so don't be surprised. I mean, if they shoot the lights out, we might just call this game early, actually, if we're the New York Knicks. If they shoot the lights out in the first half, they hit like 12 threes in the first half, we might just call this game within 5 minutes of the third quarter. So I can see it going either way. But if it's close, if they don't have a good first half, we win this game. I promise you we win this game. But the only way they win this game, if you're the Celtics, is if this goes into, if you guys are blowing us out in the first half. So Knicks win tonight, Warriors, Knicks win tonight, Timberwolves win tonight, and then the Denver Nuggets win tomorrow night. Those are my pick. You could book it. I think Aaron Gordon and Jamal Murray have a good game for Denver tomorrow. I think Lou Dort, I think all those guys in foul trouble will help. I think Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon will have a good game to help support Jokic. But that's going to do it for me for now. I've been yapping. Before I get out of here, please like, comment, and subscribe. Excuse me, all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. I hope y'all liked all the breakdowns today, man. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me as always. That's a good amount of views today, man. I appreciate y'all, but y'all could have been anywhere on the internet, but y'all were here with me, and I appreciate that. Thank you guys so much. I'll see y'all later, man. Y'all have a good one. Peace.